Welcome in to all my quacking cubs out there. I am, as always, your favorite friendly despair bat Annakuma, and today we're talking about a game I'm extremely excited about. Yes, today we're doing a demo review of Happy Broccoli Games' Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. And Duck Detective, by the way, is extremely hard for me to say, for some reason. That being said, Duck Detective is what it says it is on the can. You play a duck who is a detective, and you must detect. Simple. Now, I love ducks. This is something everyone that knows me knows. I adore ducks of all kinds, so seeing a game about a duck makes me extremely happy. I also love detective games as well. I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes in general, and always love a game that lets me piece together the clues to come to a conclusion on my own. Duck Detective is basically a game that seems to have been born out of two of my greatest loves. We play a down-on-his-luck duck detective, divorced and on the bread. He's trying to piece together the little bit of life he currently has going for him. Now, the game is a short one, as it is. The Steam page says that the game will be between like 2 and 3 hours long. Therefore, don't be surprised to find out that the demo itself will take you less than 20 minutes to complete, but it gives you a fantastic look at what to expect. The visuals of the game is what I think struck me first, and how they incorporate a slightly more adult theme whilst keeping it cutesy. I love the art style. You have your cutout characters moving around on very cartoony and clean backgrounds. Not just that, but the duck himself has collision. You can knock things over as you move about, and that really brings the world together. The few little areas we have to explore weren't huge, but they were very well detailed and extremely clean and simple. I love the way the world is presented to us, and watching us waddle around the world is just super freaking cute. Hotspots are forever marked out on the map. It doesn't really distract you, but really helps you keep focused on what you can and can't interact with. Because of how richly the world is drawn, I do feel the hotspots are extremely helpful in this game as well. Whilst I don't mind hotspot detectors or games that decide not to have them at all, this world is so full of little details that having something point away is a nice little touch. It is fully voice acted, but the game gives you nice big speech bubbles with very well used fonts to make sure that you can read what is happening easily as well. These might seem like kid-friendly features, but they are also super helpful for those who detest pixel hunting, for example, as well as those with vision impairments. Everything is big and bright, but it uses a nice sepia filter when the duck is thinking to himself, and it also has a really nice soundtrack in the background to give the more noir vibe to the game. I know from personal experience that at first glance the game looks extremely childish, like a point-and-click for juniors or something, and that mainly comes from the big, bold, and colourful way the game is presented. And to be fair on it, the game is probably going to be perfect for kids and slightly easy for adults. That being said, I feel the game also will have a good appeal for adults as well. I was surprised by how they used the noir stereotypes and made them friendly for all audiences. As I said, we're a divorced duck who lost himself to the bread. This mirrors those lonely detectives in the noir genre who usually hit the bottle to forget their woes. It runs that fine line of adult humor turned PG that I think anyone who likes detective games will get the kick out of it, and kids will be able to grow up with it and finally understand at some point some of the more adult themes in the game. This might be its biggest downfall though, in that it is hard to decide who this game is actually aimed for. Whilst for many people like myself that isn't really a problem. Hell, I've played the Peppa Pig game in Discord, and I pull out Elmo games all the time on stream. But just on first glance, a lot of adults might sleep on this game, whilst I'm not sure a lot of younger people will get the underlying humor as they play it. It being a short game isn't really a big deal, as most point and clicks I've played recently could be finished within a nice 3 to 6 hour range anyway. The fun yet overly clean and bold presentation with a PG and clean take on the genre might just put people off. I found the gameplay to be really refreshing. It reminds me of some of the Sherlock games where you have to actually put your clues together. In Duck Detective, you are obviously making the deductions, and you fill in the blanks to find your way through the game. Being a very short demo, you have the main tutorial, which sees you figure out what happened the night before, and then a small deduction to get you into the scene of the crime. Neither will really be that hard. You just have to make sure to interact with everything around you before you start making sense of what the story actually is. But I quite like that. That looks like it'll be the bulk of the game, and I can't wait for it. What I do think makes a game, though, is the voice acting.
Anna! I'm a different duck now.
The voice actor for the Duck Detective himself is fantastic. He's silly, but not overly so. It is over the top, but not in your face kind of way. It reminded me greatly in some weird way of what Rob Brydon did as Lou in Discord Noir.
But I'd never woken up dead before. It all started the week before, on a cold and wet Sectober day in Ankh-Morpork.
Like the briefing was, we're doing a noir detective game, just different. And they nail it. The moment where you run to your desk to swear to Anna, which is a fantastic name by the way, not biased at all, that you are off the bread, knocking that bin over on your way to it is just so dramatic and silly, but in a way that everyone can chuckle, but also feel that pain of the character. That being said, I feel there might also be the same worry with some of the more cartoonish and childish voices in it.
This is the last straw! Fredderson needs to be fired!
Again, I don't mind them, but it might be a bit off-putting to some people who are already in two minds because they weren't exactly sure about the game anyway due to its look. And now I feel like I'm just constantly worrying about the game, but I do. As someone who has seen countless people shrug it off as a kid's game that probably won't be up that alley, I've done a lot of cheerleading for this game in various communities now, because I think the demo gave me enough reason to believe it'll be an enjoyable, even if a little short game for anyone to enjoy. But the more I talk about it and how much I love it for its simplicity and how I believe it smartly weaves a usually very adult genre into a more family-friendly setting, I do wonder if the game will be well received by people who are gonna look at the artwork and instantly just shrug it off as a kid's game. 19 minutes of a 3-hour-long game might not be enough to figure out whether the story will hold up. There isn't gonna be some huge murder mystery, and I don't know how deeply the game is going to jump into its detecting roots, but it also leaves the question of who really cares. The game looks like it's gonna be super fun. Its writing makes me hugely excited to unravel the mystery, and I'm charmed by the cute designs, and I adore how clean and simple the menus and dialogue boxes are, that I feel the game is just going to be a nice way to turn your brain off and have fun for a few hours. I love the parts of the Sherlock games that incorporates. It doesn't look like there will be an inventory or any kind of real puzzles, and it'll all be down to figuring out who did what and who might be lying, and I'm down for that kind of game. It is different enough at the moment that I feel it even stands out as slightly unique to what a lot of games I play do. It doesn't bog you down with pixel hunting or trying to force everything with everything in your inventory till you find the answer. It just wants you to solve a mystery the good old-fashioned way, by deducting. Or at least by paying attention to everyone around you. Listen to what they say, piece together why they are angry or sad, figure out who done it by actually using your abilities to read people. It might not be the most in-depth game, it might end up being pretty simple, but I feel I trust the Happy Broccoli Games team enough from the small snippet we got to make it compelling for all ages and give us a very decent, well-written mystery to solve. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that others enjoy it as much as I'm hoping to enjoy it. It comes out on May 23rd, which would be after this is written, but probably a week before this is posted. It is 3 days after my birthday, so I'll probably pick it up as a gift for myself, and as I make the video about It's Grim Up North first, I'll probably play it on stream after we get through that game. That is all from me though today. Hell yeah, another video down. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please think to support us by hitting the subscribe button, giving us a like, and commenting on whether or not you're looking forward to the game, or indeed if you've played the demo, or the actual game in full, whether or not you enjoyed it, let us know down below. Now to the big Twitch plug, because as you all no doubt know by now, my full-time job is to stream 5 days a week on a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday over at twitch.tv/worker89. You'll be surprised how often I forget what days I'm streaming or what my Twitch channel is. It's scary how often I forget it. I have agoraphobia and I'm currently struggling to get a work from home job, so Twitch is my main focus right now. Any follow over there going towards a 1k follower goal before the end of the year is much appreciated. And if you like ducks or indeed detectives, you'll find a welcoming home for those needs, because I love them too. Until then guys, keep off that bread, look after yourselves and keep safe. Thank you for watching as always, and bye bye.
First, I had to find out who works here and what their jobs are. I needed to find my client as well. Inspecting the crime scene will be important too, but this is a demo. So you'll have to wait for the rest of the game to be made. Thanks for playing.